All my favorite conversations are always made in the AM. I sat right there and I wrote this sentence on February 12th and I submitted it to the show. I never thought it would get picked. There was a good sized crowd. I just wrote it because I was self-conscious about not submitting. I like to be included and I like to include myself. So I submitted the sentence for the show I'm participating in, and for that I'm sorry. I contemplated whether or not to tell you all, but then my Irish guilt got the best of me because it's Lent and St. Patrick's Day is on Sunday, and I realized I had to explain myself. So I've always wanted an excuse to talk about Made in the AM, my favorite One Direction album, and I guess it was selfish by submitting. But first of all, I'm a Gemini Sun Leo rising, so of course I'm selfish by nature, and second of all, it came to me when we were prompted for a sentence to start a story. I also thought other people could make it work because the song is sort of a universal story about how you make some of your best connections talking to people deep into the night or the AM. So Niall, Liam, Louie, and Harry all wrote the song together along with some of the other writers, and it closes their last album as a band. Fun fact, it's also the only One Direction song where they swear. I'm in air quotes for the podcast listeners. I won't sing it, and you're welcome for that. They say, won't you stay till the AM? All my favorite conversations are always made in the AM, because we don't know what we're saying. We're just swimming around in our glasses, talking out of our asses, like we're all gonna make it. Yeah. The irony of the biggest band to come out of the UK in the 21st century singing about making it always makes me tear up. You can't deny the comparisons to the most beloved band in the history of the world, the Beatles. Had One Direction stayed together, I could and would argue that they would have become even bigger than they were in the first half of the 2010s. By the end of their time as a band, they were making songs like AM, and the boys were writing a lot of the songs themselves. They've said it in interviews how they felt inspired by Fleetwood Mac and other bands of the 70s and 80s. They were owning their authenticity and showcasing it in songs like Made in the AM. And I know that it would have been appreciated in a post-Obama administration world. That's what we're all looking for as artists, right? Authenticity. The band, or the boys, as they're known to their fan base, came out of the UK X Factor and hit it big in England before coming to the States. I first became aware of them on Tumblr during their X Factor run, and then when they performed on SNL in 2012, I became a stan. The boys all auditioned separately on X Factor and were all eliminated until Simon Cowell, X Factor, American Idol judge, and Spice Girls creator decided to team up the 5 boys for the competition. They came in 3rd place in the X Factor, but went on to huge success in the UK and eventually the States and the world. If you get the chance, I'd recommend the 2013 documentary, This Is Us. Very well done. Spurlock, the guy from Super Size Me, filmed the boys preparing for and on tour. You get some great glimpses into their personalities. At one point, Harry and Niall talk about how Zayn almost didn't show up for their first rehearsal. Harry jokes, good thing he showed up or Niall would have had to been the mysterious one. I always love their self-awareness, something they showcase in later songs like Perfect, which Harry wrote about dating Taylor Swift. So at this point, I was a sophomore in college and well past what I thought were my boy band days. I'm old enough that I experienced the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys days. I saw them both live in concert, NSYNC during their glory days and then Backstreet Boys on one of their comeback tours. Also, I've never really connected with male artists. I've enjoyed some of their music, but I was never a full-fledged stan in the way that I love girls, like my holy trinity, Britney, Beyonce, and Gaga. I'm a girl's girl, which is middle school circa 2006 language for feminists. And men are just disappointing. But there was something so special about One Direction. They were mostly younger than me, so I always felt sort of paternal towards them. Don't get me wrong, I've had some pretty not paternal dreams about Harry Styles, but I never felt anything more than that for any of the other boys. I just felt defensive. See, they don't dance. That's the thing in the fandom that we love about them. It somehow makes them more lovable because they aren't trying to be something they're not. One day gave me an outlet in college to just enjoy some teenage boys singing pop songs like their first hit, What Makes You Beautiful, that begins, you're insecure, don't know what for. You don't know what you're beautiful, and that's what makes you beautiful. Well, there's some obviously mildly problematic word usage in that song. That that made me first fall in love with 1D, it isn't that something that I go back to when I'm in a 1D mood. It's their later stuff, the stuff they actually were a part of writing that draws me back 3+ years after their indefinite hiatus. I'm doing air quotes for the podcast listeners. It's honestly songs on their final 5th album, so far into the final album, Made in the AM, that keep me coming back. Rolling Stone said, Made in the AM is 1D's Let It Be, the kind of record the world's biggest pop group makes when it's time to say thanks for the memories. So don't get mad at me for comparing 1D to your beloved Beatles earlier, because Rolling Stone did it first. Although I've never seen them live, I feel like I've participated in the fandom online in such a way that it's been very real. I've met friends on Tumblr via 1D, and I often talk to my real-life friends about the boys, whether they'll come back, whether they can recapture the magic, whether we can recapture the magic of our teen years. I've always felt kind of embarrassed at my love of One Direction. There are no Sufjan Stevens, who all my college friends fawned over. In 2017, Harry Styles said the following to Rolling Stone. Who's to say that young girls who like pop music, short for popular, right, have worse musical taste than a 30-year-old hipster guy? That's not up to you to say. Music is something that's always changing. There's no goalposts. Young girls like the Beatles. You're gonna tell me they're not serious? How can you say that young girls don't get it? They're our future. Our future doctors, lawyers, mothers, presidents. They kind of keep the world going. Teenage girl fans, they don't lie. If they like you, they're there. They don't act too cool. They like you and they'll tell you, which is sick. Harry has always been my favorite member since the moment I saw his floppy curls on a GIF on Tumblr in 2011. He has this pirate quality about him. He wears a lot of jewelry, and he seems to have like this specific moral code that he lives by. Most people aren't looking for a moral code in their pop stars, but I guess I am. I love what he had to say about young female fans, and I agree wholeheartedly. I understand the boys had to take time off after doing 5 albums in 5 years to try and be solo artists, and I support all of them. Well, except for Zayn, who left the band after 4 albums, but I won't get into that. In AM, the boys sing, feels like this could be forever tonight, break these clocks, forget about time. There could be World War III going on outside. Feels like this could be forever right now. Don't want to sleep because we're dreaming out loud. Trying to behave, but you know that we never learned how. As someone who never really learned how to behave, I find these lyrics hyper relatable. Sometimes I'll drive home late at night, maybe even in the AM, and I'll roll down my windows, and I'll blast AM for all to hear. I do sing in my car, and I don't apologize. It's one of the only times I feel like I can be myself. I feel free to be me, and One Direction is a huge part of that for me. They came to me in a dark time when I was in college, when I didn't know what I was doing. I was swimming around in my glasses and talking out of my asses, doing internships in the wrong field, and basically living a lie. But when One Direction comes up, usually at parties late into the night, I can be myself. I can be my lucky self that I was as a child that got her sentence picked for this show. I can be real. I can be authentic. Because all my favorite conversations are always made in the AM. Thank you.
I had zero idea that was a One Direction lyric. Zero, none. I think that is about 7 minutes more than I knew about One Direction.